Hello everybody, Coach Jenny here, coming at you live from the Get Out of Your Own Way coaching group. I have something on my nose that itches. Hello, you did not miss it. I am here. I had some technical difficulties. So for those of you watching this on the replay or over on YouTube, this was recorded live inside the Get Out of Your Own Way free Facebook group. You're welcome to join us and the links are below. So we're going to get started here with a little story. This is a true story, folks. Number one, last week I posted something. I posted it here in my group. Then I decided to post it on my timeline. Then I went crazy hog wild and posted it in LinkedIn and a few other places. What I posted was, here are a list of opportunities I am actively seeking. Now, I want to tell you very specifically that one of those items on there, quite innocently, said, I want to do a TED Talk. Okay. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've waffled back and forth on, do I want to do a TED Talk, do I not? Is a TED Talk something that is just kind of a bucket list item, something that you do just because you're supposed to do it and because it looks good and it feels good and it's an ego stroke? Or is a TED Talk actually something that could change your life and really ramp up your visibility? Is a TED Talk something I really want to prepare for and apply for and get somebody to say, yes, you are now blessed and you can come forward. We would love to have you. Excuse me one moment. Can't do that on a TED Talk. Is a TED Talk something that I should want, right? Is it something that I should do just because I should? Which y'all know how I feel about shoulds. So, you know what? I decided I'm just going to put it out there. And then a few things happened last week. One, I was talking with Regina D'Alessio, who has been helping me with my speaking career, and I was talking to her about when I want to come to New York for the upcoming book tour for All Things Hilda, and there happens to be a TED Talk that week, so I kind of fell down that rabbit hole thinking, ooh, maybe it's a TEDx Talk, but still it's a TEDx Talk, and maybe there's an opportunity for me there. But that post that I had put out there publicly saying, hey guys, this is what I'm looking to do, and if you can help, let me know, started to generate some interest. It was really pretty wonderful to see all these people saying, oh, I could help with that, or I'm excited about that. Even a friend of mine, when I have on that list, I want to dance with Ellen, meaning Ellen DeGeneres, my friend Ellen Martin was like, I'll dance with you next time I'm in LA. So getting what I'm asking for. I love it. So I have this out there, and this TED Talk thing starts to take shape. Somebody that I know, who I have interviewed with on her podcast, tags somebody I don't know in that list, and that person reaches out to me and says, hey, TED Talks, that's my jam. When can we talk? I would love to tell you all about it. Now, Hilda, of course, is like, oh, don't talk to her because you're not really serious about this TED Talk thing. You're not ready. I mean, clearly you're not anybody. Who do you think you are? Don't take this meeting, you're going to waste this woman's time. And then I said, no. One of the things I'm working on here is asking for opportunities and asking for help. She's offering to help. Why would I not take the call? So I booked the call for the very next day. We hop on the phone, we talk for almost 2 hours. You know how you instantly click with somebody, and we're talking all about TED and how I didn't know what I didn't know. There's so much more to this. There's like tiers to these different events, and the one I was looking at in New York City isn't actually like a New York event. It's a small event. It's more of a tier 3, and I really need a tier 2. Really, I should be looking at a tier 1 if I wanted to do this and that and the other thing. And it was this whole conversation about how I could make that epic. And then here comes Hilda. Hilda's all up in my head, just screaming, there's no way you can pull this off. I mean, get serious. You're not all that. You do a lot of live streaming, sure, but that's off the cuff. It's not super rehearsed. And this 18-minute, perfectly timed, excellent, amazing speech, this huge undertaking, it doesn't even pay anyway. So why would you do it? Why would you waste your time? Then I fell down the rabbit hole of saying, you know what? I'm going to inspire myself and watch some TED Talks. And I'm watching TED Talks thinking, oh, they're really good. Or there's no way I could pull that off. Or even if I did it, you know, she's got 200,000 views. I would have 20. And the list goes on and on. As soon as I decided this was something I was interested in, and I put it out there and said, you know what, this is something I think I want. And then somebody showed up to help. Hilda is hitting me with everything she got. And that's what holds us back from even claiming and stating, I want this. She gets in our head and starts to get us to expect colossal failure. Instantly, Hilda's in my head saying, you know what? There's no way you can pull this off because X, Y, and Z. And it works if you let her. Hilda will make it. Yeah, that dang Hilda, Debbie says. Yes, that dang Hilda. She will get up in there and convince you that it'll be a failure. And here are a couple of things that I am doing in this particular story that I hope help you to combat this expectation of failure and doom and gloom from the onset. One is to get clear about what that failure would even look like. Okay, so say I get a TED Talk. Say somebody says, yes, you can come do this TEDx LA or TEDx wherever. And they invite me to come do this. It's not like I'm just going to show up off the cuff like I do with some of these live streams and just say, okay, here I am. I have 18 minutes. I see the timer. Let's go. Clearly not. I would prepare for that, right? And most TEDx talks, I've learned, have coaches who support you and help you prepare for this. And there are different things that you can do to really prepare to give a speech that you hit out of the park. So, one, shut up, Hilda. I would prepare. I would actually get the help I needed to prepare the best freaking talk ever. And suddenly, it seems like, wow, I really need to do this TEDx talk because it would force me, would give me an excuse to get the help and the support, maybe even hire somebody to help me take my speaking to the next level and really prepare something really epic. So that started to quiet Hilda. The next thing I would say to you is when you're starting to expect this failure, and I guess I didn't answer my first question. My first point is, you're expecting this failure. Well, what would failure look like? What would failure look like? Okay, I get a TEDx talk. Failure looks like what? I trip on the stage and break my nose or something? Like, seriously, how bad could you fail? Because in my mind, it's going to fail. It's going to fail. But what I haven't done is said what the hell failure or success looks like. So I dug into that a little bit. What would it look like to be successful on a TEDx stage, specifically for me? Well, that I got the talk, that I got up there, that I smiled, that I hit most of my points, and I got off the stage to a little bit of applause. That's what success would look like. But Hilda has it in my head by watching all these TED Talks on YouTube that success looks like 1.2 million views and all this stuff. Well, if I only get 1.1 million views, is that a failure then? If I only get 100,000 views, is that a failure then? No. Because again, why I want to do it is to really craft my speaking and to get further and to get more eyeballs on my work and to make Hilda a household name and all of these different reasons. Like the reasons I'd want to do it don't match her vision of what failure is. But she's jumping in my head and putting in my head all this noise about what failure could look like before I can really think it through. Pam asks a question. Pam's new here. Hey, Pam. My Hilda asks, why you instead of someone else? But I have to counter with, why not me? I love that. Yeah, I hate when Hilda gets in my head with, well, yeah, that's nice for them, not for you. You can't do this. Who do you think you are, right? I love the counter. I love that comeback of like, why not me, right? I love to ask myself the three questions: why not, and why not me? I love those three questions. Great point. Okay, so now that I've decided, okay, failure would look like falling on my face and breaking my nose, and even then I'd probably get a little bit of press coverage. What does success look like? Honestly. And again, success for this TEDx talk looks like getting a TEDx talk at a tier 1 or a tier 2, which is not legit like official language, but based on the conversation I was having with Jill, this person I met on Friday, that's what success would look like, is having that opportunity and preparing for it and giving the speech of a life, right? Giving just a really, really great talk. And you know what else success would look like? Marketing that same talk elsewhere, where I could get paid for it, where I could find more clients, where I could, right? There's so much opportunity in this idea of preparing for this. It's kind of like if you plan to run a marathon and then you run the marathon, like you do the training and you do all that working towards the marathon, and on the marathon day it pours and it rains and it's not that great of a day, but you cross the finish line anyway. There's so much more to the accomplishment of that than just crossing that finish line. And there's so much more to it than the pouring rain, nasty kind of run you had. It's all that training and accomplishing and finishing and just seeing the finish line through, but also all that training and getting your body in shape, and all of those things also count. So in terms of this particular goal of mine, when Hilda's in my head expecting colossal failure, telling me you're never going to pull this off, the truth is I pull it off just by asking for it. I've already started to pull this off. I've already started to make some headway here. So shut up, Hilda, right? Shut it up. I know what failure looks like, and it's not really an option. I know what success looks like. And here comes the but what ifs. But what if you don't get selected this year? Will you do one of these more tier 3 things? And what if you never get selected? I mean, what if you get rejected? How are you going to feel? What if nobody actually wants to hear about Hilda? What if you do Diary of a Fat Life Coach and you get laughed at? Like, what if? The key to squashing that particular Hilda is to answer her freaking questions. She's trying to pose these hypothetical, rhetorical, what if questions, and just to get you stuck and to get you thinking, oh man, what if that happened? That would suck. That would suck. That would be awful. If you answer the question and say, okay, if that happens, I'll solve the problem. If that happens, then I'll solve that problem. If they say, no, thank you, and I get rejected, I'll apply to a different one. Right? And so it's just being clear about what will happen. What is the result of that? Those what ifs just left lingering will make you feel really crummy, really crappy, and will hold you in a holding pattern for way too freaking long. And that's, again, Hilda expecting you to fail. If she can convince you, and this is why it's called a BS belief, people, if she can convince you, you're gonna fail, they're all gonna laugh at you, or whatever she's doing in that nanny boo-boo voice that she does in my head anyway, if she can convince you of that BS, even for a moment, then suddenly you might want that less. You might fear that thing, that goal more, right? She's going to get in your head and hold you back. That's all she wants to do. So if you're new here and you're just getting to know Hilda, that voice in your head has one mission and one mission only: to keep you safe and snug in your comfort zone so you never fail. And if she can convince you that you're going to fail just for wanting it, then maybe you'll second guess yourself into a bunch of bonbons, sofa time, watching Netflix instead of actually going for what you actually want. Victoria says, that's awesome. I've been trying to do the same with Hilda. My video project is going to be that awesome despite Hilda. And then she says, take that Hilda. Yes, hashtag take that Hilda. That's one of my favorite hashtags. That woman, that voice will do everything she can to hold you back, Victoria, because she doesn't want you to go big. When that video project takes off, you're suddenly going to become a much bigger deal. And then suddenly more people are going to be paying attention to you. And no good can come from that, right? If Hilda has her way, she would just keep you thinking about it, playing around with it, second guessing it, and then telling you, like she was telling Pam, there's other people that do that. That's not you. Victoria says, nanny boo boo. That's so awesome. Someone else says that. Oh, yes. My hubby looks at me like I have 3 heads every time I say it. Oh, Hilda does with the nanny boo boo. She's very, she's very mean like that. Okay, so the next time you hear this particular Hildaism, right? The next time this is bubbling up in your head, that you're already planning to fail, you're catching yourself planning to fail, I want you to ask yourself this very basic question. Why am I planning to fail? Why am I planning to fail? Because that's what you're doing when you're letting that noise in, right? When you say there's no way I can pull this off, you're expecting yourself to fail. And you're probably letting your past dictate your future. Just because in the past you failed at something or failed at even attempting something does not mean in the future you can't change everything. Just because in the past you've struggled with something doesn't mean in the future you can't get the help you need to do even better. And I just want to erase that demented documentary that Hilda's playing over and over in your head that's keeping you in this stuck pattern. The truth is, now that I've thought it through and learned more about what it takes to become a TEDx speaker, I want it more than frickin' anything. I'm so excited about that opportunity. It's been this idea, this kind of, I don't know, carrot out there that I've been thinking about for a few years, but I haven't allowed myself the opportunity to learn what it takes, learn what it means, learn what I could do with it if I was really strategic and really hardcore about it and got the support that I needed. I had no idea how deeply I would want this once I learned enough about this thing and learned enough about the opportunity that's in there. And so suddenly, something that in the past I've made fun of is something I really, really want. And now I'm ready to do it. And so as soon as I really want something and it's big and scary, Hilda gets loud. She gets conniving. She gets sneaky. She gets sly. She's always looking at a new way. Again, we don't get to kill Hilda. If we kill Hilda, we become narcissistic assholes. But we have Hilda in our heads, trying everything she can to desperately hold us back. So I say to you, Hilda, I know you're scared. I get it. I understand you're scared. I'm scared too. But we got this. I'm doing this, with or without you. So if you're going to keep making all this noise, Hilda, please do, because it's going to spur me on to get even better, to be even more prepared, to get even more help, to ask for support from my community, to ask for support from the people who love me, my friends and my family, and to ask for support from the professionals who know how to get me to where I need to go. So that's what I want you to do, is instead of saying, oh my God, Hilda's being so loud and she's holding me back, I want you to celebrate that Hilda's being loud. Because Hilda's being loud because you're onto something. You're doing something. You're thinking about something. You're considering something that's really exciting. Hilda doesn't get loud when you're thinking, oh, I should go to the grocery store. No. Unless you're thinking you want to become a chef and make a 5-star meal. And then that grocery store trip really matters. Hilda gets loud when you're about to do something that matters. So really dig in and say, okay, I'm ready. Stop planning for failure. And the next time you catch yourself thinking this, ask yourself, why am I planning to fail? And what would happen if instead I planned to hit it out of the park? You see the difference? You feel that difference? Is it Carrie or Kari? Let me know, one or two. Carrie, Kari. I want to say your name correctly. She says, I love that you talked to Hilda. Oh, hells yeah. I mean, here's the thing about the whole Hilda thing, especially for the folks that are new around here and don't know me that well. Here's the deal with Hilda, okay? I call her Hilda, and I talk to Hilda, and I write comebacks to Hilda because it's ridiculous. I recognize that it's quite silly. I am literally creating a multiple personality in my head because otherwise I have to buy into the fact that all of those nonsense thoughts are true. Because they're thoughts in our head, we assume, why would we lie to ourselves, that this is our truth? But it's not. So we want to create this separation, this magical cartoon character who lives in our brains, ridiculous, and put all the ridiculous words in her mouth and not ours. And suddenly when you've created that separation and you've humanized this crazy voice with all these crazy messages, and you said, okay, that's some broad name Hilda, or whatever you want to name her, or him. Suddenly you can have that distance, that objectivity to deal with the BS. Carrie said, Carrie, it's like Carrie, thank you. She says, it's genius. I hear all those stupid thoughts. It is. We all hear those stupid thoughts. And thank you. We all hear those thoughts. And here's the funny part. We all think we're the only ones. We all think we're the only ones walking around that way. Classic imposter syndrome is we all feel like at any moment somebody's going to find us out that we're a big fat imposter and that we're totally posers and we don't know what we're actually talking about, right? Everybody has those thoughts. And I am on a mission to introduce the world to Hilda so you don't feel so alone. So you recognize that everybody's got this BS going on in their heads. It's time to do something about it. So I'm glad that that resonates with you guys. I just got to tell you, when I was preparing for this conversation, for this week's workshop here in the group, I was thinking, telling you guys this story really makes this real, right? It's what I call a this shit just got real moment. By saying aloud again and again and sharing it everywhere that I want to do a TEDx talk, it actually lights a fire under my butt that's one of the next things that I'm working towards. It's really exciting. So I want to know what that thing is for you. What is your version of the TEDx talk? Maybe it is a TEDx talk. I know Victoria, it's a video series. Like, what is it? What is your next big thing that you've been too afraid to mention? And that Hilda is trying her best, her damnedest with everything she's got to convince you that there's no way you're going to pull it off. Let me know in the comments, let me know below, and I will respond to each and every one of you. I want to hear about how your Hilda is trying to get you to plan to fail so that we can plan to succeed. I hope that you enjoyed this. For every single person that's here, if you're watching this, I would love to meet with you. I would love to see if I am the right coach for you, see if there's a way that I can help push you out of your own way. I do use the word push there. That's actually pretty nice. I shove you out of your own way. That's really what I do. Go to bit.ly/meet Coach Jenny, all lowercase, and that'll take you over to a page so you can learn all about me, and we can hop on the phone, free 45 minutes, no hard sell, I'm not the gal, and you can get a sense of whether or not I am the right coach for you. I would love to talk to you. Victoria says you need to proclaim stuff like that out loud. You do. You need to proclaim it out loud with each other. You need to proclaim it here. This is a really safe place to do it because only the people that are members of this group can see what you post in this group. Now, of course, I'm saying that, and if you're watching this on YouTube, that is not the case. If you post it below on YouTube, everybody can see it, just so you know. But here in the Get Out of Your Own Way Facebook group, only the folks that are here can see that. So if you want to have that privacy and you're over on YouTube, come on over and hang out with us in the Get Out of Your Own Way community here on Facebook. Like I said, the links will be below. Victoria says she's awesome, guys. Thank you, Victoria. I love you guys. All right, so I'm going to go as my promise to keep these to 30 minutes. I so appreciate each and every one of you. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you on the other side. Bye, guys.